So, yes, Death Christmas Tree, yes, I'm wearing a t-shirt and wrong side around. Moving past that, I made a video on this before, you clicked on it, you know what this is about. Hold your horses a bit. When you Google and when you go on YouTube and you search Cyberpunk, 90% of the search results are negative comments or negative videos or just backhanded compliments to Cyberpunk. And that does the game great injustice. Yes, the company did make major fuck-ups, which I'm not gonna go into in this video. But the employees, the people that were actually putting blood, sweat, and tears and time into this game, put so much love into it. Am I crazy for loving this game? Because I do love it. Stick around and let's find out. Before we do that, two things to be noted. First of all, there are gonna be spoilers. The second thing is, throughout the rest of the video, I may refer to V, the protagonist, with the he pronoun. That is because I chose to play as male V in my first playthrough of the game. Now that we got that out of the way, stick around and let's find out together. What this game lacks in technical stability, as some may put it, it makes up for a beautiful story and beautifully fleshed out characters. At some points it's freaky how beautifully the characters are fleshed out. And I'm looking at Judy Alvarez, that's the first thing that pops up to mind, but 90% of the characters, I'm just saying 90 to be safe, are so well fleshed out. They have so much personality. Actually, you know what? Before we get into the actual real shit, can we talk a bit about Ozob? Because I have like 15 different questions about Ozob. First of all, where the fuck did that grenade come from? We asked you at one point, you just said that your brother pulled it out so you had to put it back in. But where did the grenade originally come from? Does it hurt? You mentioned that if you pick your nose, you have to watch out not to pull the pin, but you don't have any nostrils. Can you breathe from the grenade? Where are your airways? Do you only breathe from your mouth? If so, don't you have some sort of infection at some point? Because Night City is very polluted and you don't have any way to filter out any gunk that's going on in the air through the usual nostril hairs, which you don't have because you only breathe through your mouth, unless you can actually breathe through the grenade, in which case, I went on a tangent there. Let's go back to the video. That's another topic for another day. This game has so much detail and so much beauty in it. It is amazing. From a graphical standpoint, it is outstanding, even on PS4 and Xbox One. People shit on it and joke about the fact that it looks like a fucking potato on PS4 and Xbox One. But even there, it looks beautiful. Comparatively, it's not as outstanding as the ray tracing that you can get on PC and PS5 and Series X. Sure, I'll give you that. But it's still a breathtaking, pun intended, experience when you look at it. The first moment that comes to mind is when we hit the clouds. We're looking for Evelyn Parker. What Clouds is it's essentially a gentleman's club, to put it politely, not obviously restricted to the male gender. When you go into there, you're hooked up to a machine. They take all the info that they need about you, your subconscious, your fears, your inhibitions, your instincts, everything that they need to know. Then the machine chooses, usually, one doll. What a doll is, it is essentially the people who work there, and they willingly flip a switch once they're faced with a client, stop being themselves and become what the client wants them to be. It's supposed to derive more pleasure from the experience, so usually people go over there to skullfuck dolls. But when you go into there as V, you have the choice of a male or a female doll, Angel or Sky. I chose Sky, the female. Once you head into there, you don't have the option to skullfuck, sorry, but you have the option to go through a series of dialogue choices to maintain a conversation with the doll. Now, you also have the option to cancel out, to say your safe word, end the experience, and start looking for Evelyn, go back to the main quest. I didn't do that. I carried out the conversation all the way. And what that gives you is something that a lot of games don't give you, and that is insight into who you're fucking playing as. V is a character that you choose what V looks like. You choose what V wears, what weapons V uses, whether V goes in guns blazing or goes in stealthily. You choose everything about V, even V's origins, whether it's a street kid, nomad, or corpo. But what do you actually know about V? Nothing. You know nothing about V's subconscious, nothing about V's personality, nothing about V's past. All you know is what the game shows you at the beginning. This conversation tells you so much about V's character, about V's personality. What you could have guessed before, and now you officially know, is that V is scared shitless about becoming something that he isn't. I mean, yes, you have Keanu Reeves in your head, but you literally have another person in you, but there is an underlying message there. And V is scared shitless about that. I'm not going to reveal everything that is talked about in this conversation because I do want you to experience it. If you don't have the game, then watch a video of someone carrying out that conversation all the way through, because you find out so much about this character and you feel connected to the character more than you ever did or you could have ever hoped for. Moving forward, another moment that comes to mind is the quote-unquote best ending in the game. I'm leaving my favorite moment in this entire game to the end, so if you think I skipped your favorite moment, wait to the end of the video. The best ending in this game is when you run away with the Aldecaldos and Panam. Now, if you're a male V and you decided to romance Panam, it makes it 10 times better, and if you're a female V and decided to romance Judy, it also makes it 10 times better. At the end of this game, you got the biochip out of your head, Johnny's gone, which is bittersweet, and you run away. You're done with Nice City. You became the legend that you wanted to become. Now you just want to live out the rest of your life. And maybe you will be able to find some cure and be able to live more than the 6 months which you supposedly have left. Maybe. Or you will live the best 6 months of your life around people that you love and that you can call family, which is something that V hasn't experienced in a long time. I'm going to talk about the very, very, very end of this bit. There are so many beautiful moments in this specific ending, but I'm going to talk about the very, very last bit. The last shot, the last scene, where V is on the Panzer with Panam. Either way, even if you chose to romance Judy, this bit was always going to be the same. You're sitting there with Panam on the Panzer or a miniature Millennium Falcon, and you're hovering over a lake, a river, but it's not really clear. A bed of water. Looking up at the stars, sitting there. The game takes you in third person. Now, the beauty of this moment is the fact that you go into third person. Now, this may be just me overreading, thinking more than I should about this, but I think that is such a beautiful moment, and the fact that it is in third person. Every ending in this game is in third person. You need to know that. So what I'm saying right now may be disregarded by that fact that maybe they didn't overthink it. Maybe it's just the fact that they want you to see it. But going to third person has an extra effect here. And does it matter whether they meant it or not? I don't think so. If you look at a painting and understand 15 million different things from it, the painter didn't need to mean all those things. But if it meant something to you, that's all that matters. Going into third person here has a major significance in the fact that the game tells you two things. The first of which that comes to mind is you did it. The whole game you've been playing as V, the whole game you've been playing in first person, the only option that you had to go in third person was when you were driving, and personally I didn't take that option. I preferred driving in first person because it was way more chaotic and fun. But beyond that, the game is like, take a moment, step back, look what you fucking achieved. V is happy, you achieved that. Above everything else, you managed to reach the end goal and even go further than that. The game takes you in third person as a sort of a pat on the back. At this point, you can just leave that interpretation there, or you can go even further. The game could be telling you that, hey, you helped this random character in this fictional world where all the odds are against you, and you could have died a million times, and you probably did and had to reload, but you made it through. And you helped this random character in the shittiest of situations achieve happiness. So who's to say that you can't achieve your own happiness? Now I know you all came here for this specific moment, for me to talk about the best mission in this game, the most beautiful sequence in this game, and one of my favorite missions and sequences in all of gaming. Pyramid Song. It's a mission that is accessible to you towards the end of Judy Alvarez's arc, or the beginning of her arc if you play as female V. She is the character that was introduced towards the beginning of the game, and if you are male V, she becomes one of your closest fucking friends and most reliable friends in this whole fucking game. And if you chose female V, she either is that or you romance her, which is, I don't know why you wouldn't do that if you were a female V. What the fuck's wrong with you? She invites you over to a remote area. It's a house-ish area on a lake, which seems a bit weird. She wants you to dive down into the lake with her and connects both of your psyches. That may be the fucking worst technical term. That may be very wrong, so excuse me for that. But you go for a dive. what it turns out to be is she wants to take you to her old town, the town which she grew up in, Laguna Bend. Before diving down, or after diving down, I'm not sure, this bit's a bit fuzzy, she hums a beautiful fucking song that is part of the soundtrack in the game, which, if I've not mentioned yet, is fucking beautiful. If this game is considered to be a 2021 game on the awards and it's given an award for best soundtrack, don't think that it's bullshit, and don't think that it's just CDPR pulling a few strings. It is genuinely a phenomenal soundtrack. Judy hums Bells of Laguna Bend from the soundtrack, and it is such a beautiful bit, just sitting there with Judy, her humming. I stood there for 10 minutes, literally for 10 minutes, just hearing her hum. There's something about that moment. But anyway, there are so many fucking beautiful moments in this whole sequence. When you go down under and find Laguna Bend and swim around this dead town that feels so alive, because you can hear Judy's memories. You can hear kids running around. You can hear a little bit of chatter. It feels alive, even though visually, and when you look at it, there's nothing here. This sequence is so fucking beautiful. When you resurface, there's even more to this. The mission isn't done yet. You have a talk with Judy. You just sit down with her and you have... The whole point of this mission is it tells you so much more about a lot of people's favorite character in this game. Understandably so. At the beginning, you're introduced to her as a character which you don't really trust, as a character that doesn't really trust you, that's there just to help you out on this one mission and leave. But she ends up becoming a way bigger part of your journey. And I think that's the whole spiel of life, isn't it? You meet people which you think aren't going to be that important to you, but it turns out that they're going to be the most important part. A stranger becomes family. But that's way delving too deep into that. If you're still watching this far, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to make you look at this game through my eyes. To see the good in this game. Because there is a bunch of bad bullshit things in this game. But there's so much beauty in it as well. So thank you for watching this far. One of the things in this game is that some of the most beautiful moments and the most beautifully fleshed out characters are part of side missions, which you don't have to do. River Ward, which had such a fucking phenomenal arc. Carrie Uridine, which... yeah. I have mixed emotions about Carrie, but yeah, he does play a magnificent riff and a very nice moment when you're with him on a boat. A lot of these other side characters that wouldn't appear otherwise unless you played these side missions. So when people tell me that this game's short, that the story is short, that there's not much to do, I tell you that you're bullshitting yourself before you bullshit me. Because I'm 83 hours into this game, and I've not finished everything yet. As male V, and I've played the game through all the way again as female V. And I'm just counting the hours as male V. There's so much shit to do in this game, and if you can't see that, then that's just you. That's not the problem from the game, that's the problem from you. Yes, the game has so many issues. There are a lot of issues with this game, and I can make a video talking about all the issues with this game, but I don't want to. I can make a video talking about all the issues about Shadow of the Colossus, but I don't do that, do I? No, because gaming is much more than critiquing pieces of hardware that people throw out your way and things that people make. It's much more than that. It's about envisioning something the way that the people who worked on it did. And I'm not talking about the heads of CDPR, which can suck a dick. I'm talking about the people who actually put a lot of fucking time and effort, and a lot of unpaid time and effort into this game. To you, I say thank you for making this phenomenal game. And if I'm the only one who sees this beauty, and I highly doubt that I am, then so be it. Call me crazy, call me a fanatic, call me a fanboy, call me what you want. This game is a beautiful game, and I love it so much. In my last video, I did a whole comedic sequence where I apologized to my brother if I was gonna roast the game. But at this point, this is genuinely a bit where I say this is a big thank you to my brother. Who, if he hadn't bought me the game, I don't think I would have gotten Cyberpunk anyway. I would have veered away from it. But the fact that he bought me that game for Christmas of everything, the irony of it is just amazing. And it's become one of my favorite games of all time. I don't care how buggy it is, I don't care how people actually say a lot of shit about it. It is a phenomenal game. And if you had the chance to experience it, if you had the chance to see things the way that I did, you got the most of it. But anyway, I like how I try to cut down my intros and then end up making very lengthy outros. But now, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you enjoy my content, and don't forget to hit that bell. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and Twitch are in the description. Now, as always, Twitch, I haven't done shit on it yet, but keep an eye out. I may be doing a stream very, 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 very soon. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, stay safe. Peace.